Good day, everyone! I am Melissa Libiano, and in this video, together with my group mates Kyle Marie Espanola and Francine Daniel Ann Ibanez, we will tackle about the Marxist approach of the movie Cinderella. Marxism, which was derived from the ideas of Karl Marx in the 19th century, is a philosophical and practical framework for examining and altering society. In media studies, it can be found in a variety of ways, such as a methodical analysis of capitalist media economies and societies, a materialist approach to media objects and processes, and a source of activist aesthetics. A Marxist film must function as the narrative or visual antithesis of classical Hollywood cinema. It must promote the group over the individual, and it emphasizes the fight between classes in order to increase class awareness. A capitalistic society equates economic status in a Marxist view, and the story of Cinderella by Charles Perrault highlights a number of these views. It covered the class conflict, the relationship between class and status, and false consciousness in the film. Cinderella tells the tale of a young woman with a heart of gold named Cinderella, whose life turned upside down when her cherished mother passes away and her bereaved father remarries another lady, the evil widow Lady Tremaine, the intolerable mother of vengeful and envious Anastasia and Drizella. As a result, things get progressively worse, and soon Cinderella is at the lady's mercy. Cinderella is now destined to serve the queen forever and has no hope of attending the king's royal ball. Naturally, trying to entice the charming prince is impossible, but with the help of her little friends and a hint of magic, Cinderella gets ready as her world is about to turn upside down once more. All of the characters in the film contribute to their Marxist society, even though Cinderella is the main character. Marxism's significance in the movie helps the characters become conscious of their social class and other struggles. The opulent palace where the royal family resides is first glimpsed in Cinderella's opening scene. Then, the camera pans over to the modest, dilapidated houses in the working-class neighborhood. The director makes it a point to demonstrate the relevance that class connection has in the film right off the beginning by showcasing this comparison of two neighborhoods. A person's social class can be determined by observing a variety of indicators. These include the person's appearance, speech, diet or the food they eat, means of living, level of education, place of residence, and social circle. In the movie, the Marxist approach was evident in the socio-economic status of different characters, whereas they are divided into three: the low or poorest class, the middle class, and the high class or wealthy living class. Cinderella resides in the portion of a wood-framed house. In her stepmother's household, she cleans and takes care of all the domestic duties. She has a bland appearance because she is wearing an outdated maid dress and plain simple shoes. She also depends on her stepfamily for her necessities and is unable to make decisions for herself. In addition, she receives poor and unfair treatment from her stepmother and stepsisters, who are middle class, indicating her lowest socioeconomic level. She is experiencing different kinds of struggles with the torture of oppression. They used their power to treat her cruelly and unfairly, which degraded her as a human being. Cinderella is a representation of impoverished individual. Cinderella's stepfamily, who live in a concrete home with exquisite amenities, is definitely a representation of the middle class. Their attire, which consists of lovely gowns and heels with makeup and jewelry, exudes elegance and sophistication. They don't face any financial difficulties because they can acquire anything they desire. They can also command individuals of low social standing, like Cinderella, to carry out work for them. They depict privileged individuals with access to all things, enjoying some unique privileges or advantages that most others do not. The monarch exudes authority and strength throughout the movie. holding the entire realm. The king is one of the representatives who has power over the working class, lower socioeconomic beings. He utilized his power to incite everyone to become a member of the royal family while simultaneously providing them false hopes. His capacity to host a royal ball using his connections and resources demonstrates his position at the apex of the hierarchy. However, despite the differences in their socio-economic status, the characters are still interrelated to each other in a way that, for the poorer ones, including Cinderella, to afford food and other basic necessities, they have to work themselves and be deemed worthy of their needs. The same goes to the middle class. For them to maintain their status in the kingdom or in the society in general, they are willing to enslave others, yet they are still way farther compared to the royals. Lastly, the royals also do everything uphold their status and power by making themselves relevant at all times. And in order to do that, they have to constantly show their people interesting things happening in their lives, either by throwing parties, celebrating a wedding, special balls, and etc. In the actual world, the poor create and maintain society, not the elite. Therefore, without the poor, the privileged wouldn't have anything to be rich in. The king's false hopes carry distortions that give rise to people's failure to identify injustice, oppression, and exploitation in a capitalist society that exists in their kingdom. The royal party is a way of brainwashing the individuals who are thirsty and hungry for the taste of imminent wealth and luxury. The delusional minds of the people hindrance themselves from understanding their true stand in the hierarchy. It gave them high hopes that someday their unfulfilled souls will live in abundance. The realistic adaptation of what's been going on in our society through this animated film is splendid, knowing this dates back to 1950s. This goes to show that the evident gap between every social and socio-economic status has long been existing. Cinderella, in the lens of Marxism, was able to successfully incorporate social issues in the home film, making it as realistic as possible. Though animated, the viewers can relate to the story because every character is laid out connected to one another and not just focused on the individual or main characters. The movie shows how one's actions affects every other person in its circle and how, as a whole, we impact each other's lives. It is, however, important to note that false consciousness and hopes aren't something we should let ourselves believe in. Although to dream and hope of a better tomorrow is normal, deluding ourselves into something superficial, however, isn't. According to the Walt Disney, Cinderella believed in dreams, all right, but she also believed in doing something about them. When Prince Charming didn't come along, she went over the palace and got him. That's all for this video. Thank you all for watching.